So again, AKAI was at NAMM and I missed it. I wasn't gonna spend that $1,300 on that ticket, bro. Look, man, I'm a broke ass nigga. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck, a bean. You know what I'm saying? A nigga broke. But Sarah Too Ill covered the panel with Just Blaze, Roger Linn, Jimmy Jam, Andy Mack, and if I forget Jermaine Dupri, I don't want to forget Jermaine because I eventually will meet up with him one day and he gonna be like, oh, so you got smoke for me? But anyways, we're gonna check it out. Link in the description box. Make sure you support your fellow content creators. Let's get it.
That's right.
All the music we all make.
How's the audio, gang?
Is someone who
how's the audio?
Of everything, and I have the honor.
I bet NAMM was really good. It looked like it was amazing.
Thank you.
Hey, I need women like that. I need women like that to support yo niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? Support the niggas that be in the street grinding. God damn it. I want to hear it like that from the women. Damn it. Or one woman. Hell, shit. I'm just saying.
Roger!
You're stupid.
Bryan Michael Cox.
Woo!
We have the legendary Jermaine Dupri.
Let's go!
Now that I think about it, all these folks have worked with each other on the same album, that same Usher Confessions album. Just Blaze had a mean one on there. Bryan Michael Cox, of course, JD. I mean, JD, My Way is like my favorite Usher album of all time. You know what I'm saying? I was in high school when that came out. You know, a brother was feeling himself, was dressing better. You know what I mean? Could find clothes that could fit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Hey.
One more time. Like what? Why? Why did? What made you? Stop! I don't want to throw this out, but I really got questions for this guy right here, for real.
Yes.
Jimmy Jam for that drum loop. Yeah, that was a disgusting drum loop. Ask Vernon Simpson, but yeah.
What made you make them sounds like this?
Well, yeah, it's. I didn't really know it was going to be that successful, and the sounds were just the sounds that we thought were popular at the time. But it's interesting, Jermaine, we were just talking backstage.
Oh yeah, your boy Mcree. I'm not as old, but bro, I know my history. I know what my people that have done for music. You know what I'm saying? So ask Vernon Simpson and Juicy. Bruh, and then of course, clearly it was resampled and repurposed with Notorious B.I.G. And the other day, and I hate to stop it like this, I had to think about this jump, man, because I was going to the gym to lift weights, and I was like, man, you know, I want to hear some Biggie, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy how I just looked up the Notorious B.I.G. album, and he technically only had 2 albums, dog. 2 albums. That's crazy, dog. Thinking about that, it just make you feel some type of way.
Also sounds, and we put judgments on them. We call them, some sounds good, we call some sounds bad. But I would assert that the reason that people think the MPC sound good is because of the work of these people, the artists, who created music with them. And so people, then they hear these sounds and they say, oh, that sounds good. Well, I think they're thinking of the songs that you've all created. And it reminds them of a good feeling they had because of the quality of the music. And so I think it's largely the artists who use the machines that created the good sounds, and not so much anything I did. I mean, I made the best sounds I could, but but they were.
Thank you.
Drum machines was Akitaro Kakahashi, the founder of Roland, who first made the A-Stone drum machine, and then so many great drum machines. And it's interesting, a lot of people say to me, I invented the drum machine. Well, I didn't. It existed for a long time before. I just added a few things that made it better, including the sampled sounds and a better system of
Yeah, it's crazy too, because the imagination of the Lindrum or whatnot, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm kind of jaded on getting one, but me knowing the history of the Lindrum in itself and how many records that I personally rock with, it's kind of hard. You know, it was crazy too. That's one of the main reasons why I want to go to NAMM. I was like, I want to see what the smoke is going to be like for Behringer, or is it going to be smoke, or you know what I'm saying? Because this NAMM was special. I kind of hate that I missed it. To kill any MPC out is crazy.
MG. There were drum machines that had.
Hey, this joint is on sale. I'm gonna sell this one right here. Y'all can have fun struggling with this. Y'all can have fun struggling with this ASR X Pro.
But it was the programming ability was, when you think it was kind of obvious. If people bought a drum machine, they knew that the drum beats weren't very good. They wanted to make their own. But I think it was this is a quick anecdote. I first made a prototype of a drum machine on a computer and it had a screen for programming. And I went down to Stevie Wonder to show it to him. And obviously he's a sightless person. Yeah. And I saw, this makes no sense. It's a visual instrument for people who play music. Why do they have to go to this mental translation layer to play music? They can tap it out just fine. So that's when I came up with a real-time programming system and created quantization and swing that really helped in those efforts. But still, you could play it in real time, and it was largely because of that experience of seeing Stevie Wonder.
That's what's up. Shout out to Stevie.
Hold on, could we just acknowledge the fact that he said, yeah, I came up with a system that was quantization.
Right.
Swing. Something that we take for granted every day over those and our drum machines. That came out of his brain.
Yes. We did that.
So Jimmy, when you started to use like Lindrum, when did that kind of really start to become like a whole kind of figure around your sound? Like, did you hear it on someone else's record, or did that just, you started hearing these sounds on other people's records? How did you discover the drum machine?
Well,
yo, this nigga right here though, you know I gotta do it. This nigga gotta be so uncomfortable. Look, he don't even have his, he can't even get his stand right. He's just like mad close. I wonder what his POV looked like. I'm just saying. Like, all right, we done roasted. Okay, we done for a second.
And to make the distinction,
and that was at 420 too. Funny enough.
Thank you, sir.
Was Prince, because all of those early Prince records were all LM1 records. So that's how we were familiar with the idea of. And then when the newer version came out, which was the Lindrum, the thing we loved about it so much was, first of all, I was a drummer. So the idea of a drum machine and making beats was very natural to me. And, but I love the fact that you could switch the sound, the little, whatever they're called, chips or whatever. You could change them to make different sounds. And probably the first album that we used it on extensively was Janet's Control album. And pretty much every beat on that album is all Lindrum. It's just that we're changing the chips to make the sounds sound different. And it was.
I did not know that you can change the chips on the Lindrum. I did not know that. It's crazy. That is crazy.
Obviously revolutionary in the way that that record was able to be made because of the sounds and the machine that he invented.
Did Justin? When did you pick up an LM1?
All right, so I had to fake it till I made it, until I can afford it.
Right.
Because I'm probably the youngest guy on here, on the panel, right? So a lot of I cut my teeth on a lot of research and just going back and just figuring out what was what. I probably got, to be honest, I've had Lindrum since I was nearly a kid. I didn't get my LM1 until like 2 years ago. And I just
I know you paid for that.
To get like the best one, not knowing that it was the best one. Because there was the Rev 1 and then there's the Rev 2, but the Rev 1.5 still has the engraved buttons, has all the clock sync options, but still, it has the best of the Rev 1 and the Rev 2. I didn't know that. I just found a dude on Reverb, and he was letting it go for a decent price, and I was like, all right, I can afford that. I won't have to eat ramen for too long. A friend of mine, and I sent the picture to a friend of mine, and he's like, yo, turn that around. And I'm like, why? All right, sent him a picture of the back. He's like, you had the rarest revision of the LM1 to exist. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I had to jump on Google and figure that out after the fact. So, like that said, I've been a student of Rogers pretty much since the beginning of my career. My first professional machine ever was a ASR 10 because that's what RZA used, and it was 1993. And
So you was a
shortly after
weirdo.
that, I got an internship when I was like 15, 16 at the Cutting Room Studios in Manhattan. And I got to watch all these guys coming in and out, and they were all using MPC 3000s, 60s.
And don't get it twisted, man. Look, I ain't got a lot of hate for like ASR users or anything like that. Don't get it twisted or whatnot. I just with this X Pro, I ain't gonna even hold you. There are things that I enjoy about it. I like some of the wonky shit about it, but then I start thinking about certain things when it comes to sequencing and all that other stuff. Man, it's a pain in the ass. So sometimes you lose samples and stuff like that too.
Well, I guess that's what I need to use. And I just happened to find a 60 that was signed by this guy.
ASR people are the weirdest people on planet Earth, but you know they definitely make some of the hardest bops.
Amazing.
So name the people that make beats on the ASR, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I mean, recently, yes, you know, but you know, my first drum machine was an MPC 3000. It was my first time ever using an actual drum machine. But as of recent years, like No Idea, who we're all friends of, he has a studio up the way in LA that's all this vintage gear. And I remember I went to book some time there, and I was like, yo, bring me the LM1, bring me all it, bring me everything. And I just need a day to get, you know what I mean, to learn it. And so yeah, I did that. I just recently I've been able to like put my hands on one.
Yeah.
You know?
Jermaine?
Yeah, no, I was too young. But I remember going to the studio and seeing it. They used to have like an emulator and a Lindrum. And it's like, you can't afford this shit. Like, that's what it was like. These two pieces, you can't afford it. It seemed like it was like $50,000 too back then. It seemed like it was so far away. But I remember looking at the Lindrum.
Shit, it might as well be, dog. If I was to go on eBay right now, and don't get it twisted, the reason why people have ridiculous prices, and I'm going to talk about it in the video because I didn't think about it until I started selling shit on eBay. The reason why you see such ridiculous prices, especially now, eBay treats the marketplace different. Like, one, they try to hold your money for like forever. They hold your money hostage, period. That shit is annoying. Secondly, they take a lot more money out of your sale than they used to back in the day. And last but not least, when you combine those things together, that's why you get gear that is jacked up in prices just to get a profit. You feel me? And if you're selling anything that's current, dog, you're just gonna have to hold that L. You know what I'm saying? So that's why vintage gear is usually jacked up on eBay.
And I remember seeing them pull the chips out and all of this. I didn't know what was going on, but I remember it.
How old were you at that time?
I probably was 13. And it's just like I remember the emulator because I used to try to tell them to sample stuff and they didn't do it the way I wanted to. That's what forced me to want to be a producer. It was like, but the emulator used to be like this you could sample in this, right? And that's why I remember when I used to go to the studio.
So Jimmy, like obviously your collection of records. Did you have any kind of like certain production tips of how you was processing the Linn drum sounds?
No, I mean, to me, it was just what we did back in that day was everything we recorded was the analog tape. And the thing I would do, or we would do, myself and Terry, we would record everything really way too loud on the tape. And we always used to love the way it sounded when you just took those sounds and just smashed them. And we recorded the control album. We were the engineers on the control album. We recorded everything way too loud. And that was a lesson from Prince, because Prince would always record with everything in the red. We later on learned that our machines were set up.
Distortion, you're a fool.
It was a mistake. But when you listen to the control record, the reason it jumped out at you on the radio was because of the little distortion that was in there. And that was something that Prince taught us. He said, always put a little bit of distortion because it makes it sound louder to people. So that was definitely a technique we used. But it was so easy to get around the Lindrum. The other thing I liked about it was because it had pads. I would make a loop sometimes, but then I do like my own fills and my own stuff. Just
in before the, well, actually, head ass niggas that's gonna be in the comment section, Well, actually, when you do reel to reel, it does this to +5 and -5/4, and you know the distortion is at asymmetrical 5/8. Those type niggas, man. I hate those type niggas, man. I swear to God. But keep preaching, brother.
Freehand, and that way everything had a live feel to it. You know, when something would happen once in a song but not make again, that kind of thing was really important. So the spontaneity of being able to work like that was I love that.
Can I hijack for 1 second? I didn't mean to turn you on. The fills on that, were those played live, or was that through the?
No, I mean it was programmed. Yeah, no, we programmed it, but I mean I played it like live, and then
That's what I'm saying. Like, you played that live.
Oh yeah.
On reel-to-reel tape, that's crazy.
But once again, I started off as a drummer, so that was so for me it was very natural to do that. I never thought of things like because it wasn't about seeing the music at that point. It was just kind of hearing it. So for me, I was always, you know.
The reason I asked is that was the first time, even as a little kid, I'm like 4, but that I heard something.
And also that's why I know the Well Actually head ass niggas, they got their YouTube channels and it'd be popping because they will actually their way into shit. You know, it's kind of like the Well Actually head ass nigga that did the the Alchemist. He was talking about the Alchemist. Why does the music sound scary? Well, actually, and I'm like, bro, like, okay. Anyways, they have their place, but I almost forgot my damn thought. But when I listen to these guys talk or whatnot, man, they're not Well Actually head ass niggas, dog. They're just more like, I just did it because it sounded good. You know what I'm saying? And that's always going to be the most important thing, dog. Does it sound good, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about the frequency if the curve has more asymmetrical distortion at the top end of the high end and stuff like that, bro? If it doesn't sound good, bro, who gives a shit about the explanation? I mean, the Well Actually type videos, even though I do Well Actually type shit, I just do hood Well Actually type shit. You know what I'm saying? It just all matters. All that matters is if it sounds good and what was the vibe at the moment,
That I could tell wasn't a live actual musician, but felt like one, and it got me curious as to how that happened.
No, that was definitely part of the technique. But that was a great thing about drum machines because, we talked about, quantize. You could quantize stuff, but you could also not do it. And so you could keep that live feel. And that for us was important because we always wanted our records to sound like a performance, meaning that it was happening in the spur of the moment. And that was really important to be able to do that.
Well, it's called bit crushing, and
Roger.
that is at 8.5. Well, actually, True Lion. Well, actually, MG the Future. Well, actually, RG.
To design the next evolution of that drum machine and then kind of take it into the world.
That's how we gonna do it from now on, dog. Well, actually, I know I'm gonna put that.
And then there was a drum machine called the Linn 9000. And that had its merits, but it's when I thought I had to be a businessman and hire other people to do the design. And didn't
Busy Word Piece don't be sounding like that. But he do be trying to be the Well Actually type nigga, dog.
Too expensive and it was
like, man, relax a little bit, man. Have fun with this shit.
That's what brought the company.
Like music, especially hip hop, ain't about the Well Actually. You know what I'm saying?
I was never good at that. I hated the idea of having a company.
According to my calculations, then they have a perfect spectrogram or something. By my hypotheses.
SYCO.
Like, comment, subscribe, and check out my DistroKid and Patreon for more facts about Jay Dilla and his snare while I do it in FL Studio. Because if Jay Dilla was live, he was like, man, stop disrespecting this man, dog. And get you a 3000 and really find out, nigga.
Very good audio and production designers and marketing and all that stuff, all the things that I was horrible at. So
I don't mean to interrupt Roger Linn, dog, but real talk though. I remember when I did the Jay Dilla video, and I had so much of the hypotheses, and well, actually, they're not right. You're not right because if Jay Dilla was alive, he'd be, shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, you don't know, man, that nigga Jay Dilla was alive, he wouldn't be around you, my guy. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? like read the room. Go over there and talk your dumb shit while you're trying to figure out what we already know over here. You know what I'm saying?
Very nice collaboration. And so at first they said that we'd like to take. There was a project I had been working on.
This hip hop right over here. You know what I mean?
Never released.
Hip hop and R&B ain't about the asymmetrical.
Basically similar to the Linn 9000.
It's about feeling, my nigga.
Pad format of 4x4 pads.
Okay.
And it was kind of interesting. It was a rack mount device, but you pull the panel off, and then you can have a.
And before someone say Roger Linn is well actually in the game, dog, he earned his right to be a well actually head ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? He's that. He's him.
Something like that, and play it with the illusion that all the electronics was inside, but it was just a control panel. Anyway, so they said we'd like to take a lot of your engineering from that. And I said, well, that sounds fine, but I think probably there's a few of the things I do right now. And I think I would say in summary, one of the things that perhaps helps the MPC's success, there's so many different things, but one of them is I made the assumption that all the people who would buy it are as impatient as I am.
And you was right, Roger. There's a lot of impatient folk over here. That's a fact. That's a big fact, bro.
They just want to, if they have a musical idea, they want to get it down on tape or in memory right now, and they don't want to be faced with all kinds of technical hurdles. And so I've always been a big advocate for great ease of use. And in fact, on the MPCs, I even put a help button.
I had to speed up a little bit.
Hey.
And because I remember all this times when I wanted to record something as an
Actually, I don't like it sped up.
I found myself 2 hours later reading manuals. And so the MPC, what I tried to do was set it up so that when you take it out of the box and put in a floppy disk, and turn the power on, it loads everything up automatically. You can immediately just press play and you hear beats. Or if you want to record a beat, you just select an MP sequence, and all the settings for the quantization, the swing, all this stuff were just set the way most people want them. You didn't have to set it up first and like.
So basically, he's telling you that off top, this is where on the modern day MPCs you have these different templates and stuff like that. So he was just showing like on the original MPC that there were templates and stuff like that. I mean, you have to. Man, I just want my MPC. I will retire from buying gear if I can get a damn Mark II, the MPC 60 Mark II. That's it. That's all I fucking want, dog. Straight up.
It would just work, and so that's been a big driving force. But a lot of it was timing too. The whole new musical genre of hip hop was just emerging at that point, and it happened to be a very good fit. And boy, in my life, I've had a whole lot of lucky coincidences of timing, which helped a whole lot. So.
No, it's obviously with the whole
That's not luck, that's destiny.
With the New Jack Swing, the whole Teddy Riley period as well, of him really turning up the quantize and the swing on that.
He was supposed to be there too, by the way.
For me, all of these genres would never have happened if it wasn't for your design.
Jay Dilla was marvelous. He used swing and quantization and lack of quantization in ways that I never would have imagined.
Right.
When I first would hear Dilla recordings, I'd think, it sounds like a bad drummer. And people were playing with the.
Y'all niggas here, Roger Linn? Y'all hear it? This nigga, right? And so all y'all that was talking about I was wrong in my myth video, I want y'all niggas to apologize right now. Especially all y'all well actually niggas. Y'all better apologize today. God damn it. Shit.
That style of bad drumming. But it was actually just a new style. And I listened to it now. I think that's a great
well, actually, Rashid.
But anyway, it's an interesting concept as a product designer who doesn't have the talent of these gentlemen. I like to use the expression, I can make the brush, but it's the artist who decides what to paint with it. And Dilla surprised me. Sampling loops surprised me. When I first made the MPC 60, I remember being at a NAMM show, and the MPC 60 had a whopping 26 seconds.
Robbie cool, man.
26.
Yeah. And somebody said to me, could I have more sampling time? I said, how much? I said, 2 or
Did bro say that they had a NAMM? Damn, NAMM's been around that long? Damn, that's crazy.
4, because I assumed they just wanted to make drum sounds. I said, well, I'd like to take an entire measure or 2 measures of a record and use that as a basis for a song. Why would you want to do that? It's just, you have no idea. Styles change, and that's what the artist does in our culture. The artist just makes a vector and knows what should be done and makes that vector, and everybody follows him. And I can try my best to predict it, but and sometimes I have lucky coincidences, but it always surprises me.
Amazing. So, Jermaine, when did you discover the MPC, and what was your first one?
I think it was like 1991. I think it was like I said, I went through this era where I had a Ensoniq EPS, and the Ensoniq I think went out of business, and I had to get a W30, and I was just working with these workstations, and I kept trying to find the best workstation, and the guy at Rhythm City, a Guitar Center, he called.
That man said Rhythm City, he is really an ATLian. Only real ones know about that.
And told me that I should try this MP out, and I went, and it was like, this will do everything that the EPS will do, and it'll do everything that the W30 can do. But you like you said, the sample time wasn't that long, so I think I made Crisscross album using the W30 and the MP together, and then I started learning how to trick the MP by speeding the samples up and sampling it and getting the entire sample in there in a quicker time, and then slowing it down to make it. But that's just a lot of work. But that's the things that was going through. But yeah, I think it was like 91 right there.
Justin, what about you? What was the first MPC?
That man call him Justin?
My first MPC? All of them. So the first one that I bought was a 62, which according to legend of who I bought it from was actually used to sequence a bunch of Slick Rick's second album. But that provenance didn't come back. I didn't get word of that until after I had already sold it. And I was like, ah. But yeah, so it was a 62. Then I saved up enough money to get a 3,000. And then I just literally bought everyone after that. But it's just one of those things where it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I feel like I cut my teeth learning on the Roland JS30, which was a scam. That's a whole other conversation.
This man said that man said scam with such a passion. God damn. Altruist saw this video, was like, man, I'm inspired. Here he goes again. I know, dog. I know, MG.
It's that scam runs with Jam Man. And then after that, it was MPCs from there on out. And even after Roger and part of
Roland can't catch a break, bruh.
Was doing other things. The children of that original design. And to this day, like,
according to my calculations, it was a scam.
Logic now, right? But I still keep my Logic templates set up as if I was using an MP. Old habits die hard.
I would say that Teddy Riley era too, right? The syncopation on the MP and the quantize that you talk about, that also was a reason why they was pushing me towards that, because Teddy was my idol, so I was making a lot of beats I was trying to make these New Jack Swing beats, and Teddy beats the sync was so perfect, right? It was like almost over perfect. And
triplets, baby. It's called triplets.
It didn't even have that. It didn't have.
Yeah, the R70
would
tough.
do that. But I couldn't get it to do anything like that. So the first MP.
Yo, he's definitely not about to talk about the 5,000.
Swing was in there, and that was what we was chasing. Definitely.
Yeah. No, completely. So, so Jimmy, from
I just realized I did actually the hell out of Bolo, man. So I do apologize, Bolo, the producer. Even though I agree with what he was saying, I did actually I actually the hell out of him during his video.
moving from like the Linn period, when did you introduce the MPC into your production? Because we were chatting about this last night.
Yeah, so for me, the MPC, I mean, we had the 60, we had the 62, like you're talking about. The 3000 though was the one I think for us that really got me hooked into it. And for me, you had to learn how to do it in a different way. I had to think about it differently. But luckily we had some drum programmer guys that helped us out a lot. We had a guy named Alex Richburg out of New York who knew how to really work it well. And then we had these young brothers, the Avila brothers. And the Avila brothers, okay, you got some testimony.
I see you.
Old heads in the building.
There's also Izzy in particular. He just was like the wizard on that machine. So what happened was, I remember this one day, I would always just use it just as a drum machine. I didn't use it as a sampler to loop it or to even record instruments into. And I remember one day they set it up for me, and it was like a weekend, and they just said, you're gonna make a song today, and you're gonna have to use just the machine to record. Don't put it on the analog tape or whatever, just use the machine. And so I said, okay, so in order to do something really simple, I just put these chords in. I went bum, 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 right? Then I put a little bass part, boom, 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 right?
He talking, no way. I didn't even realize he made that joint, man. That's like one of my favorite Janet joints. No way.
And then I put the beat, and the beat was just supposed to be right? I couldn't figure out how to make it swing. So it just was this kind of straight beat, and I was so pissed off. So the next day I came in, and they said, did you make a beat? And I said, yeah, but I can't make it swing. And they were like, oh. And there it was. And that song turned into Got Till It's Gone for Janet. And that was my first experience of actually recording like that and actually using the machine the way it was intended to be used. So thanks to the Avila brothers, thanks to Alex Richburg, and thanks to you, we had a hit that combined Joni Mitchell, Q-Tip, and
I was just about to say it. I was like, damn, I thought Q-Tip was the one that did the drum arrangements on that joint. But I didn't realize that it was him that came up with the very idea of the chord progression. I was like, damn. But yeah, that's like one of my favorite Janet Jackson joints, man, for real. Boy, I've been listening to the hell out of some. Boy, man, shout out. Man, let me know in the chat comment section, what is your favorite 90s R&B joint, man? Like, for real. And truth be told, like, I'm not going to tell them myself, but I've been listening. Someone put me on to a lot of the R&B of today. A lot of the R&B right now is actually cold as shit. For real. Anything Jodeci? For sure. Clap it up, clap it up. That man said, I'll be sure.
Jermaine, what's
Keith Sweat.
What's your most memorable song?
We going into the 80s.
For you?
Jump is the first record I made on the MP.
Oh, Jump. Okay, the Linn Collins joint, or Funky Worm.
I got samples going everywhere, and it's just like I think I was just so happy that I had found a machine that I could just like do whatever. But I also was. I don't even know why I chopped the sample because nobody told me to do that. But I was just
real talk. When I first touched down in Atlanta, Criss Cross was blowing up. And when I tell you, I was like, man, I'm never leaving Georgia. I'm never leaving Georgia. And so far, it's true.
It's like I said, I was just in sample heaven in this machine. And that song, basically, I made the entire song inside the MP. There's nothing else going on. Like, all the sounds is coming out of that.
And fun fact, I was a bodyguard for the Twins. I was a bodyguard for the Twins, too. Of Jagged Edge. For those who don't know, yeah, your boy Ab was doing stuff. And, you know, I was in these streets for real.
One machine, and I could just sit there and write because you're like, you know, you write songs. the way I write songs, I either write the entire song. So if I'm writing the entire song, I put it in song mode, and then in different parts of the verses, the beats is changing and all of this type of stuff. And I was just amazed that the machine would actually allow me to do this. Like, I could just sit there and do this, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, I used to have a big crush on the Brat.
I was actually too young.
I have a thing for tomboy ass women.
So I had to like be in my room.
I ain't gonna lie, your boy Ab be looking at. I like them all.
You can't go nowhere. I ain't have no car. I was too young to drive. All of this type of stuff. So I'm just learning how to work this machine inside there. And that one song, that jump, that song that basically was like me saying, this machine can't break. By the way, that's what it was like. The Sonic was broke. I was just praying to God that this machine was too ill. And then the 3000 came, and Jimmy, like you just said,
I'm sus for liking tomboy ass chicks. What are you talking about, bro? Look, the females in the dog. I want y'all to look back at women from the 90s. 80s on back and look at the women now, the way they dress now. Dog, you can't tell me that women back in the 90s weren't hitting different. I'm just saying. It's unmatched beauty versus whatever the hell we got going on now and baby hairs. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
Jump around, but I gotta find out what's inside that 3000.
Yes.
It's something in there, I swear to you. It's different than every machine I've...
Here we go. There's something in there. He's trying to prove a point. Is it analog? Head ass nigga.
It's nothing. When the beat comes out of that 3000, it hits them speakers in a different way.
I wish you bless each one.
Bless. I swear, I don't know. It's something in there. It's something.
I think it's.
You could do the mic, Richard.
Oh, sorry. I have to compliment the AKAI company because they did do very good audio engineering on it, and a gentleman named David Cockrell designed the chip for that, and the tuning on it was very good sounding for the time. But a lot of it was what I said earlier. And I think that had it not been used by such great artists like you guys, I don't think people would think it sounds as good as it does, because we're associating with the quality of the music that was produced with it. And the same thing with Prince. It's like, as I say, Prince was my marketing department in my first company.
That man Jermaine Dupri was trying to get on his. Well, actually,
do a Prince record. And he used it.
That man Jermaine Dupri was trying to get on his. Well, actually, you know, I was right about the 3000, and I'm going to get Roger Linn to confirm it. You know, it is analog. You know.
Creatively, you know. Sometimes I like to say,
couldn't resist,
we
bro.
make the music that the machines or the instruments want us to make. You know, if we were all making music
and Bryan Michael Cox is like, damn, this nigga won't let this shit go, dog. this man Bryan Michael Cox is like, this nigga won't let this shit go, dog. He got to win every argument. I know him, bro. I hate. Boy, I ain't gonna never meet Jermaine. Jermaine gonna look at me and he gonna swing on me. He gonna be like, you know, unlike Sarah too ill. You know why Sarah was performing? It wasn't your bitch ass. That's why, nigga. That's why.
the previous century, or even a century before that, we'd be making music with violins and clarinets and things like that. But the machines now, they excel at certain things. And they allow us to go down paths that are very creative, but they are the paths that the machines kind of want us to make. Drum machines want us to make beats, obviously. And
yeah, I mean, I'm not getting in. I'm actually more involved with the chat than anything when it comes to this. I'm not in. But anyways, this man said Ab loved chicks with finger waves, but no baby hairs. I mean, I saw a chick today. She had finger waves. I was like, damn, dog. That just took me at. When I first actually, when I moved to the A, because you know my dad, he's born and raised, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't just females with damn finger waves. It wasn't just women with finger waves. I hate to say females and males. That shit be pissing me off. but there was dudes with finger waves. I was looking like, bro, I don't know if I can get with this. What is this? You know what I'm saying? And if you already know, if you know, you know how they be clowning Atlanta people, Atlanta niggas in general. You know, they always got something to say about us, but stuff like that don't help. That and the man purses. I'm just saying.
That happens to be a great thing because the nature of popular music is it's all.
You Googling Atlanta niggas in the 90s, figure waves?
Unaware of contemporary music. I'm 69. What is the eternal part of that?
Yes. Andy definitely was looking like, man, I do not want to go through this whole bullshit about which is which.
We all get together and dance, and when we dance to a metronome, well, we have a very good metronome.
And, you know, I ain't gonna act like I ain't plugged in a little bit, but this is one thing is that Andy was like, man, I hope one of these niggas do not ask to talking about the better sound, this shit, and all that. And that was one of his things, bro. I'm snitching, god damn it. I'm snitching. I'm a bitter producer. Well, actually, I'm just saying that the sound... Yeah.
I mean that in a good way.
No. I wanted to point something out to people. So, for those of you that are mostly all you much younger than me, but I used to be in a group called The Time. Y'all remember the song 777? Yeah. So you know that drum beat in that song is a Linn drum. Okay, there's a drummer named David Garibaldi, the drummer in Tower of Power. He programmed that beat, and more. That was Morris's favorite drummer, David Garibaldi. Okay, this is a Linn drum, y'all. I know we say Jerry Dean on the song, but it's a Linn drum. Okay, so just this gentleman right here, I just wanted to call that out.
That's right.
Okay, so I got one other question. I think I've heard
Right.
That's right, head ass nigga that's recording this video. But I'm just messing with you, Sarah. You know I love you.
So
no, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
When you was using the 808 Jimmy,
yes.
So
yes.
But they said that in the 808, Roger, they said that the 808 had this roll because that's how the lights or something, right? The lights would go, and when it would get to the end, it would roll around, and that's why the 808 would hit so hard, right? And I was wondering if that is a true statement, because I'm thinking that's what you put inside this 3000.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like something. Is that a true statement about the 808?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. You mean the button where it's like an overrepeat?
Well, I think because it's you know, the lights on the 808 they go all the way, they move all the way down.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
I mean, I didn't get a chance to use it like that, but they move all the way down, and then it shows the actual loop of the beat, right?
Oh, I see, because the lights go sequentially.
Yeah, and they say when it gets to the end, it turns around, and that's what gives it the thrust of the 808.
I don't think so. It's just.
Thank you. Thank you, nigga. Damn. Thank you.
Lights right after it. It's just more lights. You didn't want to make it too wide. You know, that's and that's the thing I was saying earlier about my experience in taking my original drum machine prototype of Stevie Wonder. I think
who knows, man? He's been stuck on this argument forever.
A sense of time to tap things out or play pads because it allowed them to play mathematically. You know? But my experience once again is that
would be funny as hell if he did take his mic though. Just like why he kept on asking that question. You know damn well he wasn't gonna do that, man. Like this is all about the look, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. We all know that Jermaine's gonna continuously say that the 3000 sound this, that, and the third and all this. Man, the sound, look, the right question is how would you sample when you sample your 808? How are you sampling it? Because if it just comes straight off the disc and it's a sample, then that don't mean shit. Now, if you sample that some bitch inside of the 3000, dog, like the Roger Linn MPCs, here I go. I'm on my actually shit myself, dog. When you sample stuff inside of the 3000, it's different. It's just what it is. Sampling inside of the new MPCs, it doesn't have what the preamp on the back. That's what it is. That's the one thing that me and EA Ski was talking about. He's like, man, I'm trying to tell you. I was like, okay, now I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Because the 3000, the 60, they both had the switch on the back of it. It had 3 different modes. And that was because it was meant for guitar players.
Musical instruments for musicians who could already play. And if they could already tap it in, then why not just let them tap it into the metronome? But at the same time, once again, Roland did a great job. I have to commend Roland and Takahashi, the founder, that they pursued their own path even after I came out with sampling machines. They didn't immediately try to copy it. They added creativity to analog sounds and their step-time programming system, and that's very much valued. There's a lot of great records that have been created with that as well. They both have value.
Raj, you seem to be, you understand, you accept your accolades, but you're not very precious with your achievements.
What?
You've allowed companies to...
What? Does this man want problems, bro?
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Bro, does he not want peace? Does he not want peace? Thank you so much for the sub. He does not want peace, man. Just Blaze, yo. That's the New Yorker, bro. That's the New Yorker in him. Salute to all the people that's subbing.
Do what you want to do with it. Like, I have friends who've contacted you and you're like, yeah, just change the name. And you're just happy to march to the beat of your own drum, and I admire that. I respect that, because some lesser cultured folks might try to just, handle that differently, to say the least.
Yo, less cultured folks. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean, Just? Just Blaze, yo. You gotta love a dude like Just Blaze, man. Come on. That's the New Yorker, bro. That's what I love about my people from New York, and that's what I love about my brothers from the West Coast, man. They're not gonna play. They ain't gonna play the middleman shit. They gonna say it, and they gonna say it in the way that they want to say it, dog.
What are you looking forward to doing next? Because the thing that I keep, the consistent thing that I always see with you is, what are you doing?
Andy does have a face, though. Andy, that is Andy's. You're pissed. You gotta be on edge, bro. Big shout out to Sarah. She's the one that supplied the footage, man. I really do appreciate that she supplied the footage on her channel, and I hope this shit blow up. I'm just over here stealing views. I'm stealing views and just watching, with the gang, because, this is all interesting type stuff. I definitely wanted to go, bro. I would have loved to have a photo op with Roger Linn. Out of all the people on the panel, nothing wrong with Jermaine Dupri. Got much love for him. I respect everything that he's done in hip hop and R&B. I'm not going to ever take away from him. I understand he has his actually moments. Big shout out to Bryan Michael Cox. Of course, I fucks with him already. You know what I'm saying? And he's already fucking with my nephew on this music shit. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Jam would love to kick it with Jimmy Jam. Just Blaze. Nigga, you will never ever be better than me in any game ever, nigga. You already know what it is. So if you got smoke, you got to bring the smoke to Marvel Rivals, my G. And I promise you, my Black Panther will smoke on anything that you got.